Welcome to the Maruti Suzuki studio at AutoExpo 2020. We are right here at the center of the Maruti Suzuki pavilion in the thick of things, and today we have with us an extremely special guest, auto enthusiast, expert and former managing editor of Auto India magazine. Say hello everyone to Ranojoy Mukerji. Hi Ranojoy.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you today?
It's very good. I can see a great response to the Auto Expo, so I think it's going to be a good day.
Yes, indeed it is. And you've obviously been to the Auto Expo all these years, but welcome to AutoExpo 2020.
Thank you.
How has the vibe changed? How has it evolved?
I've attended a lot of expos. I have attended some close to about 14 expos by now. And from a time when there were so few cars, so few motorcycles, the crowd was obviously always there. Everybody wanted to see what's new, to now. And I see that paradigm shift in technology. I see that shift in technology to more environment-friendly vehicles and all. Something that wasn't even talked about, maybe say 2 expos back. And right now everybody's into electric cars, everybody's into hybrids. The whole focus, I think, has changed. And it's a very positive change. I think that we are going towards a very secure, a clean and a green future.
Indeed, it is the need of the hour.
Absolutely.
So hence we must pay heed to that. But you are a Delhi boy.
Yes.
And you spent all your life here. Tell us a little bit about being in Delhi, driving around on the roads of Delhi, how that has changed, just some memories.
I'm a 70s guy. I was born in 73. I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s. Delhi was very different. You had very few cars on the road. Traffic has changed. And the way Delhi has grown from what it was in the 70s and 80s, especially I would say that when Maruti came onto the scene in 1983 and the first cars rolled out and gradually they became such a big company, I think the whole change has been very positive. I think there's been a lot of drive that has come to Delhi.
So Ranojoy, where did you really learn so much about cars?
In my life, everything has a story. It happened like this, that I'm told that when I was a child and I refused to drink milk or any of the tantrums which kids throw, then I would be told no car ride for you. So I think somewhere cars are in my blood. In school, I was always doodling cars. So much so that my teachers thought that, this guy will not do anything in life. He's just doodling cars all the time. But later on in life, when I started working initially, a lot of credit, I must say, here goes to Mr. Tutu Dhawan, because I used to go to his garage and, tinker with cars, learn with cars. And I personally feel that no matter how much bookish knowledge you have, it doesn't really work until you have hands-on, practically done something. I got into automotive writing. In those days, again, it was very difficult. I got into automotive writing in 96, 97, when there was not so much internet available, mobile phones had just started coming in, and there was no information available. So if you wanted to write something about cars, your only source of information was to go back to the manufacturer or go to the showroom, pick up brochures, whatever. But those were good times. Those were early times, and one learned the hard way. So yes, we've evolved a long way now. And on hindsight, I think that was a very good time, because it taught me practically on how to deal with cars, and the amount of driving we did, the amount of new cars we drove. I think it's been a great journey so far.
Absolutely, which brings me to add on to what you're saying, your journey from being a car doodler to being an auto expert to being one of the most renowned writers in the country about cars. How does it feel? I mean, you've clearly seen the evolution in the past 2 decades of the auto industry here in India.
Well, as I said, it's been a big change. And today, I'm proud to say that maybe I'm one of the very few people privileged who's driven everything, right from a Maruti 800, where it all started, up to a Bugatti Veyron. It's very interesting that I grew a lot with Maruti as well, because on one of my early stages, I went on this expedition to the Northeast in Maruti Gypsies, which was done with the army, a 14-day trip through the Northeast of India. And that was really the first time I got to explore the Northeast, because I had not seen the Northeast.
Incredible.
And that was an amazing journey. And I think that was a very big eye-opener. Similarly, we did drives all over India. We did drives to unknown places.
Yes, you've been very fortunate to travel around
Absolutely.
the country, get not only to see the country, but also to review cars. So tell me how Maruti Suzuki as a brand has evolved.
The whole evolution of Maruti Suzuki as a company is incredible. From where they were totally government owned to the point where they became Suzuki owned. I think that change was seamless, and the change has been for the better, because I see a lot more evolutionary products now. I see a lot more new technologies now, whether it is automated gear shift system, the adaptation of DRL lights, whether it is CNG. I think there's been a whole big quantum leap, if I can quantify it that way. And the company has really evolved over the ages from certain types of cars to state-of-the-art technologically proven products that we see today.
And which are the features that have stood out for you?
So if I can start talking about my most favorite technologies, I think the most technologically advanced thing that I can think of is the automated gear shift system, or the AGS, as Maruti Suzuki calls it, which basically is hydraulically actuated clutch. And I think that is a superbly innovative technology, because in India, if you put in, let's say, an automatic transmission, conventional automatic transmission, that is very expensive. You put a continuously variable transmission CVT system, that is very expensive. So what do you need? You need a system which is fuel efficient. You need a system which does not sacrifice driving comfort and pleasure, and gives you a two-pedal system. So I think AGS by Maruti Suzuki has been the perfect answer to that. Yes, there were criticisms of that thing earlier, but I think now it has been perfected beyond a point, and I think it is something which everybody looks forward to in that segment.
So while technology plays an extremely important part, like you outlined, I think the youth of today has different priorities as well in terms of design, color, feel. They like to look at those things. What do you think their choices are?
I would think that technology does play a huge role for the youth today. Everybody is always on their phones, iPads. Today, youth are also experimenting with colors, interiors, looks, because that is very important today. Earlier on, in the earlier era of cars, there were only 2-3 colors which mattered: a white, a silver, a black. The more adventurous chap went for a gold or a red. But I think that is gone. I think now people are looking at colors like reds, blues, greens, yellows. I think that is a great change. Fashion, technology, everything reflects, because
Dual tones.
Yes. Because I think dual tones are fantastic, especially the concept which Maruti Suzuki has with the floating roof and all. I think that looks fabulous. When I did a walk around today, I saw this carbon fiber finish on spoilers. I saw these fancy seats. I think I saw these fancy finishes on the interior, on the dashboards, and around the steering columns and all. I think that is superb, because everybody must have a chance to individualize what they want. Customize. I mean, it is your car, and it must reflect you. So somebody like you, who would be, who's so pretty, good looking, would need a car which would be so pretty and good looking. Somebody like me, I would like a car which has more, techie stuff in it, like carbon fiber. So you must have that opportunity to customize.
You have to make it your own.
You have to make it your own. I also think that Maruti Suzuki, in one way, has really risen above a lot of contemporary thought processes, because now you see these experiments with color. Now you see these experiments with wheel rims. Now you see these experiments with interiors. I think that's been a fantastic this thing. I know that's a lot of thinking I'm doing, but I think overall the change has been very positive by a company like Maruti Suzuki.
Indeed. And, if you think about everything that you've said right now, we talk about the youth, they like technology, they want to customize their own vehicles.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, there's a huge talk about being environmentally more conscious.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think being environmentally conscious is something that you need to move on with the times. But I think that way Maruti Suzuki is doing a great thing by, like we said, that they are thinking of doing these 1 million more cars in a few years. Previously, it had taken them 1 million green cars in 10 years, and now they're looking to do this in maybe half the time or even less.
Couple of years.
So I think that's a very good process. I think that is the need of the hour, and moving forward, it is what we need to ascribe to. Technology independence has to be there. So you cannot dictate what technology you want to use. And a company like Maruti Suzuki is actually ideally posed to do it, because they have the biggest customer base in India, and they have the power to change the thinking of people. And that is why I think it is very important.
On the first day of the AutoExpo, Maruti Suzuki launched the Mission Green Million initiative.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that?
Mission Green Million, I think, will actually proactively encourage people to think green. Maruti Suzuki today is the biggest player in the industry, and when the leader decides to make a change, people follow that change. So I was very happy to see that there's not a single diesel car in the pavilion today. My colleagues might hate me for that, but I think that's a very positive thing. And also things like having CNG cars. things like having hybrid cars, semi-hybrid cars. I think that's a change which has to be driven from the top, and that change is being driven. And I think Mission Green Billion will actually be a huge success, because if a company's thought process changes, their products change, and that drives an overall change in people who buy those products. So we should see a lot of green happening on our roads.
Thank you, Ranojoy. Chatting with you was so insightful. We got to know so much about everything Maruti Suzuki and how there's been a certain evolution in the auto industry. Thank you very much for coming here and spending time with us at the studio. And for those of you watching, thank you too for your time. And if you liked what you watched, please share with the hashtags Maruti Suzuki Studio and the hashtag Maruti Suzuki AE20.